Hey all, I just want to start off by saying thank you for the love shown in the previous video. It is my most viewed video so far and I want to just say thank you for that. In this video, I really recommend you to turn on the closed captions as I'll be speaking throughout the whole video. And it just helps people that maybe don't understand what I'm saying. Let's begin. I am currently on Grosvenor Street and in this photo you can see a man crossing the street with the sunset behind them, which I thought looked lovely. Since it's still early in my outing, I am currently warming up my eye, my hands, trying out different settings just to warm up my camera. Eventually, as the day goes on, I'll be able to snap better photos. Over here was a signed parking post with a bike tied up on the pole underneath the post, and my idea was to capture this subject in between the two windows behind it. What I really liked about those two windows was that it was contrasting with the paint of the building, the yellow orange tones of it along with the white, and for me it seemed symmetrical, so I quite liked that. Oh, by the way, my choice of lens for today is the 35mm by Sigma, along with a mist filter by K&F Concept, which I really recommend. I'm not sponsored for that. Also, do note that I'll be putting chapters in this video, and later on I'll be using a different lens, so stick around for that. Now, not too long after the previous subject, I found my next subject, which was a Rolls-Royce parked up on the street, and I wanted to capture a mixture of shots, some portrait, some landscape. For me, it has been recently important to capture landscape photos as I've been focusing on too much portraits for Instagram, but moving forward I want to change that. For this shot, I've gone for portrait mode, and I noticed a man walking towards the car, and I wanted to capture him in the middle of the doorway behind the Rolls Royce. It was a orange lit doorway, and it just looks businesslike because the man is wearing a suit also. And then for the next one, I wanted to go for a low angle shot, but what was nice about it was the bike logo on the floor. Now the next one was an entrance to a building, and it had really nice lights above the entrance. It looked quite symmetrical, and me being me, I wanted a subject to walk through. Along with the mist filter attached on my camera, it really made the lights pop. By the way, what lens do you guys like? Leave it in the comments down below. For me, I'm personally a telephoto person. I really love those compressed shots, but eventually I want to start using my wider lenses and get myself a 24 to 70mm for those many different situations and scenarios that could possibly happen. Now for the next one, I really love this alleyway because during golden hour the sunlight really hits different in there, but as you can see there's not much of a sunlight at that time. To continue on, after the alleyway there was a motorcyclist sitting under a no vehicle sign, and I just really liked how it was a single subject on the whole street. And now for this shot, I've gone for a low angle shot. For the next one, I've kept this clip in because I wanted to show you guys that I always analyze my photo after taking it. I always check if it's in focus, if the composition is correct. Let me know if you guys do that, because I do that quite a lot and it just helps me assess things. But as you can see, after I took the photo, I immediately deleted it. Now for the next location, I'm in Maddox Street. I saw two interesting subjects. I skipped the first one because I felt like I was going to be spotted, so I went for the second one, which was a woman sitting on the staircase of this building, which looked quite Roman. For this one, shout out to King's Cross St Pancras station. It is one of my favorite stations. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording for this shot with my GoPro. That sometimes happens, what can you do? Shortly after that, I was making my way towards Regent Street, and along the way I found a man on a motorbike talking on the phone whilst in a parking spot. I just thought that it looked great. I am just trying to shoot anything that catches my eye, and it just helps me warm up. Now for this next shot, you guys have seen me do it before in the previous video. It is a shop window with orange lighting, and I think it really looks good when you see someone walk past it. You can always capture a nice shot with a subject in the middle. For this next one, I'm actually on Regent Street and I'm outside Hamleys. I really love the blue hour going on right now. It really makes the subjects pop, especially with the very soft lighting. The first subject is a man on a tuk-tuk. And then shortly after that is a taxi, which I thought looks great because of the headlights from the taxi. And lastly is a bus. You can see the mist filter putting in a lot of work to make those lights pop. Now for the next few photos, I was in the mood of photographing some cyclists. I wanted to take advantage of the lighting in this current situation. Wanted to also capture the red rear light because I love a good pop. And here is another one. Now for this next situation, I just saw a dark glass and I wanted to photograph myself. Hey everyone, it's me. Now along Regent Street there are a few famous arcades. This one caught my eye due to the lights in the ceiling.
You want a picture?
Whenever I'm out, people tend to ask me for a picture. I'm always polite. I always offer to take a photo of them, or if they ever don't want to be in a photo, I'll also delete the photo on the spot. Here you can see me use one of my favorite techniques. It is very simple. Just use your phone for a reflection. You can just whip out your phone anywhere, anytime, any place, and get the job done. Now I noticed that there was a nice sunset going on and I wanted to walk towards Green Park because I know that you can see a lovely sunset. To my surprise, I found one of my favorite cars of all time, a Nissan Skyline GTR R34. I was really excited about this, especially because I've rarely seen one around London and I just wanted to photograph it as much as possible. You can see me get many different angles here. And again, I use my phone technique to get some reflections, getting shots of the back, shots of the front.
Beautiful car.
Even the owner of the car realized what I was doing and started to play along. He even switched off the headlights for me to get a nice clean shot of the front. After I was satisfied with my shots, I wanted to walk away and not bother the driver anymore, but he was really nice and called me over and we exchanged details. He gave me one of his business cards. I'll put up his Instagram pages on the screen right now and you guys can go check him out.
You want to see that? Do you have them there? Can you send those to me? Yeah, sure. Thanks, mate. Nice one, man. Thank you.
That is probably one of the many reasons why I love going out, because it helps me seek those spontaneous moments and I love to be out of my comfort zone. Continuing on, in this photo, I am photographing the entrance of the Piccadilly Circus station. I am trying to get a subject going down the staircase into the yellow lights, which I thought came out nice. And then now, immediately after that, I saw this couple taking photos in front of the Piccadilly Circus screens and I did a landscape shot of that. Just thought it was a cool interaction.
For this shot, there's a dancer, and I really wanted to capture the movement. I put the camera at a slower shutter to capture the motion blur. And now I immediately noticed that the car from earlier passed by, so I quickly snapped a quick one off it. Since I had the settings on a slower shutter speed, I've decided to do some panning shots. I am capturing cyclists, motorcyclists, taxis, anything goes here. Wherever I could basically land, because panning shots are quite hard to get. I've been in a situation where I've had to do car events such as the Formula E, and I've easily taken 2,000 shots and only a good few were in focus. It's really hit and miss. And I would go as far as to say that a little bit of luck would be needed for this. But if you can land it, you would honestly fall in love, because for this kind of shot, you don't even need to use Photoshop, you don't even need to use any sort of like radial blur or editing. It's all done in camera. And you can even throw on a quick preset to spruce up the image. But I would say a lovely panning shot is always rewarding. Now here's one of a driver's steering wheel. Now a cyclist. Now I saw a gentleman with a hat and I wanted to capture him because he looked like an interesting subject. And then now I managed to squeeze in one more panning shot. Well, that should be it. I've had my panning shot fixed for the night. Continuing on, the lighting conditions are now darker. It is now going from blue hour to nighttime. Nighttime is probably my favorite time of the day to photograph because I love capturing those contrasting lights against those dark backgrounds. I really love neon lights, any sort of light that shines through in the dark. This shot is one of my favorite ones to photograph in particular because I've actually done portrait photos here before and I really recommend it. It's called Skewer and Beer. Now for the next one I had to cross the road and get closer to my subject. He was sitting down and using his phone and I wanted to capture the people that are going around him whilst he's like focusing on something else. For the next one I put back on my mist filter as the shop had loads of colourful neon signs and I wanted to capture using the same technique again with my phone to do a reflection and I wanted to capture the people going by. Continuing on, there's someone smoking away under some nice orange lights. And then this one is an alleyway with nice signages which were popping on my camera screen due to the mist filter. Now for this one I wanted to capture a silhouette shot of someone going by. And now at this point I've decided to switch over to my 70-200 Sony lens as I wanted to be more telephoto. And then on my left I noticed a man with a hat. He was drinking and smoking away and I really wanted a clean shot of him.
With the cream neck.
Yeah, you gotta.
Next up is a photo of another interesting subject. And then over here is a single subject sitting down in a coffee shop. Initially when I took the photo it was the wrong angle. So then I got lower down to capture him in a better framing. And I really liked it because of his green hair against the red walls and the red chairs. For the next spot, I'm in a different street and I noticed a man and a woman having a chat, and it looked quite cinematic for me, so I took the shot. And over here, this is the current rage. It's the Michael Jackson musical. And yeah, I captured the neon sign, and underneath the neon sign, if you guys noticed, there are people standing on a balcony talking away and just having a good time. And the next one is a couple. One guy in particular was wearing a red hat and it really stood out to me. Now I really like this street because of the whole red theme to it. And there's a van here. Using the technique from earlier throughout the video, I used the side of the van to create a reflection. And I caught these two guys walking down. And it's a really nice candid shot. Next up is a white building with black borders all over it with a red light reflection on it. Back to the Michael Jackson musical, I caught a shot of the sign with a woman on the bottom right hand side of it, and it just looked really good because he's facing to the right and she's facing to the left, and it was just in a nice, and she was just positioned really well in the shot. Now I really like the telephoto lens because it allows me to zoom in on subjects and single them out. Here is a McLaren in Chinatown. I captured the front. And now the back. And now I immediately noticed a man was sitting down on a stool and he had his feet up, and I quickly captured him.
this wraps things up. And I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but halfway through the video my voice has changed. It is because I have caught a cold. Unfortunately, I've been feeling a bit sick recently. That's why this video has been a little bit delayed. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave your comments down below and like and share it with your friends. I would really like to know your thoughts and opinions on the video, and let me know what photos you really like the most. Thanks for watching.